Tran Quoc Pagoda. Tran Quoc Pagoda, the oldest pagoda in Hanoi, offers beautiful architecture, historic artifacts and a peaceful and serene environment. Built in the 6th century during the reign of King Linamda, the pagoda was first named Kai Quoc, which means founding the country. Since then it has undergone a move, refurbishment and numerous name changes, but it remains a serene place to visit. It was first constructed on the other side of the dike road, by the river, but was moved in the 17th century to its current location on West Lake. Clearly the builders recognized what a prime piece of real estate Duong Than Nien was and that the lakeside location would add to the beauty to the pagoda. The Buddhist pagoda is accessed via a short causeway lined with palm trees. The causeway leading to the temple gives a sense of drama as you approach, suggesting something of value lies ahead. The large entrance gate is one of the most recent additions, built in 1815, and through that to the left is a tall tower visible from the street. Entrance is free to the temple, but donations are encouraged. The tower stands 15 meters high and has 11 tiers, each designed to represent the petals of a lotus flower. Each level has 6 arch windows containing a statue of Amitabha, and on top of the tower sits a lotus flower made from precious stone, but you can't get a good view of that from 15 meters below. Brick-built shrines of all shapes and sizes surround the tower, most with incense wafting out from small windows or altars, and some with Chinese writing on the side. We can't tell you the meaning of these texts, but they are pretty. You'll also see a pond containing a towering mountain of rock and topped with a statue of Goddess of Mercy Kuan Yin, and a yellow pagoda, construction dated 1939, which houses 14 engraved plaques chronicling the refurbishments in 1813 to 1815. Along the western edge of the same courtyard is a wooden pagoda, home to priceless antiques including the intricate worshipping statues you can see through the wide wooden doors. You are welcome to enter, but don't forget to take your shoes off and no raincoats are allowed. The most outstanding statue is of Sakyamuni Buddha, laced with gold. The courtyard at the back is home to a large shrine and an even larger Bodhi tree, which was presented to the pagoda by Indian Prime Minister Rajendra Prasad 1959 and creates welcome shade under its immense breadth. The tree was grafted from the holy Bodhi tree where Sakyamuni sat in meditation 2,500 years ago. Tran Quoc is a living, working pagoda, so as well as seeing worshippers at the shrines you are also likely to hear Buddhist chants or the clanging of bells. It's also a popular fishing spot. How to get there? Than Nien Road is the wide street that runs between Truc Bok Lake and West Lake. From Old Quarter it can either be reached along Quan Than Street or along the main dike road which runs to the east of Old Quarter, Temple of Literature. Today the grounds make for an interesting wander and step back into history, though the buildings are much newer after repeated renovations over the centuries. Set on a large, rectangular complex encompassing 5 walled courtyards connected by gateways, among green gardens sprinkled with hanging orchids and featuring reflecting pools, the temple is something of a retreat from the hustle on the streets outside. The temple features on Vietnam's 100,000 dong note and was dedicated to the cult of Confucius, which broke the monopoly over education previously held by Buddhism. The layout is similar to that of the temple at Confucius' birthplace, Kfu in Shandong. Initially mandarins and high-ranking civil servants were educated at the university, typically for 3 to 7 years, but later outstanding students of no particular rank were also educated here. After walking through the entrance gate and a large manicured garden, once used by scholars to relax in, visitors reach the Well of Heavenly Clarity, beside which are 82 of an original 117 turtles, representing wisdom, carrying stay listing the names, places of birth and achievements of graduate students who accomplished exceptional results during the Le Dynasty, which started in 1484. The names on some of the stay have been scratched out. These are scholars who subsequently met with some sort of disgrace or royal disapproval, and were expunged from the record. In 1802, Emperor Jialong transferred the National University to the new capital, Hue. In modern times students used to come to rub the heads of the turtles for good luck ahead of their exams, but the turtles have now been roped off to prevent this. Visitors will notice 3 pathways running through the complex. The center path was for the monarch, the path to the left was for administrative mandarins and the one on the right was for military mandarins. Today you can use any of them. A small museum towards the rear features various artifacts from the university's early history, such as fragile paper students wrote, pipes for papers and writing apparatus. There are also shrines to various emperors and philosophers throughout the complex. For contemporary Vietnamese, the temple functions as a shrine to Confucius himself, whose influence is still very much a part of Vietnamese culture, and it serves as a testament to Vietnam's long history of striving for educational excellence. The pamphlet handed out to visitors on arrival, for 8,000 dong, is of minimal use, though it does feature a map to explain which area is which. To really get a sense of what you're looking at, a guide is recommended. We didn't hire one, but a sign at the ticket office indicates they are available. Otherwise there are signs dotted throughout the grounds featuring some useful basic information in Vietnamese, English and French. Much is repeated in the brochure. Hanoi Pagoda. _19 Hang Then Street, Hanoi. Hanoi Pagoda was a major Buddhist pagoda under the Lai dynasty and today offers a serene retreat from the busy city at its gates. The dynasty ran from the 11th to 13th centuries, when it was set on a much larger plot of land. It was trimmed to its present more modest size when the French colonized Vietnam. One of the steles found here dates to the early 18th century, and allowed for historians to locate the site of the victory of Thang Long, now Hanoi, over the Mongols in 1258. The pagoda is noted for a Buddha statue sitting on the back of a kneeling king. Legend has it that after King Le Henry Tong exiled Buddhist monks, one monk explained the tenets of Buddhism to him, and he was converted, thus ordering the statue to show his gratitude. Ngoc Son Temple. In the northern part of Hon Kim Lake, and accessed from the eastern side, sits Ngoc Son Pagoda, or Pagoda of the Jade Mountain, first used as a site of worship in the 14th century. To get to the pagoda, you'll cross the Huc, or Rising Sun, Bridge, a beautiful red wooden structure built in 1885 in classic Vietnamese style, and one of Hanoi's most iconic images. Then you'll find various little buildings on the island, including an outdoor area with space for just relaxing to take in the lakeside breeze and the colorful crowd, for crowded it usually is. At the entrance to the bridge are two monuments constructed in 1864, one representing an ink brush, a 9-meter tower, and the other an inkwell, a hollow rock held by 3 frogs. In the early morning of the festival of Don Ngo, held on the 5th day of the 5th month, the shadow of the brush is positioned at the center of the inkwell. The Chinese characters on the ink brush announce it's an instrument to write on the sky. The pretty site surrounded by water has been used as a temple since ancient times, but most of the current structures here were built during the 19th century. It offers an eclectic variety of forefathers for Vietnamese to pay homage to, such as Confucian and Taoist notables, as well as intellectual Van Xuong, national hero General Tran Hung Dao, who defeated invading Mongols in the 13th century, La Tu, patron saint of doctors, and Quan Vu, a martial arts expert. It's a testament to how ancestor worship trumps Buddhism in the belief system of the average Vietnamese pagoda goer. There are various altars where the devoted worship by lighting incense and making offerings, and resident calligraphers were here when we last stopped by, too. One of the surrounding lake's last 2 revered soft-shell turtles died in 2016, and you're unlikely to spy the other allegedly still here, but you'll still have a chance to see one preserved behind glass at Ngoc Son, finished in what looks like lavish gold leaf after its death in 1968. Do make sure you have a good wander around outside. We found a tiny little beach beneath thick branches that made for an evocative, hushed spot away from the crowds. We felt like we'd stepped back in time. There's often a steady river of people streaming in and out of the pagoda, but not just tourists. This is an active temple, with many Vietnamese worshippers coming to light incense and offer prayers. Please do dress and behave accordingly. The temple is a good spot to start and end a circumnavigation of Hon Kim Lake, or is easily combined with a stop at the Thang Long Water Puppet Theatre to book tickets in advance of seeing a show. One Pillar Pagoda. Located in Ba Dinh Square right by the Ho Chi Minh Museum, The one-pillar pagoda is one of the most recognizable symbols of Hanoi. Having said that, it's not much to actually see in person. It's a modest, wooden sanctuary set on, naturally, one concrete pillar, over a pond that blooms with lotus blossoms during summer. The shrine is dedicated to Kwanam, the goddess of mercy, and is designed to look like a lotus, a symbol of enlightenment in Buddhism. The pagoda is said to have originally been built in 1049 by Emperor Lai Tai Tong, who preceded Lai Than Tong, who was responsible for founding the Temple of Literature in 1070. Legend holds that the emperor, lacking male heirs, had a dream that he was handed a son by Kwanam, who was seated on a lotus flower when she appeared to him. Soon afterwards, the emperor found a wife and had a son. The emperor then built the pagoda to honor the goddess. Today it contains a statue of her and sculptures of lotus flowers. Worshippers, and you'll find plenty of them here, climb a short flight of concrete steps to see the statue and make their offerings. The one-pillar pagoda is popular with childless couples and is also believed to have miraculous healing powers. Of course, the original pagoda no longer stands. It was most recently vandalized and burned by the French in 1954 as they retreated from Hanoi, only to be rebuilt by the communist government the following year.